Hello there, I'm just making this video for particularly the people at Pacific Carlton and Sunnyside, but this will really work for any VRS site. I've been wanting to do this for a while for you. So what I want to show you is how to use your DCC EX software basically. So eventually at Pacific Carlton, you'll have a little bit different looking window because over here on the right hand side, you're going to see more of the resident check-in feature once it's kind of gathered information for the first couple days. But I just kind of want to explore you around this software a bit. And I want to show you basically the way this software works. And I'm just logged into your server right now. The way DCC EX works is just on a web browser. So I'm going to close these other tabs here. But you see, we just went to this website, which you can go to pretty much from any of your computers on site at Pacific Carlton and Sunnyside. And then with the proper username and password, you can get in. And it looks like we made a few users there. Office at Pacific Carlton, GM at Pacific Carlton, and GM at Sunnyside Manor. So I assume you have the passwords made for those. Okay, but usually we just have it at this screen. If we actually did have an alarm, it would show up very clearly on the screen here. It would show it was ringing. It would even show what phones it's ringing, and even eventually what phones accepted the alarm. So like, for example, I can go into the history here, and I can go to alarms. And as you can see, we're still working on this check-in stuff. But if I scroll down, like here's well, this looks like this was a tester here. So at 11:55 a.m. on today, November the 1st, that alarm was pressed and it went out to the phones, and it looks like extension 134 was the one that accepted it. So as you play with this more, you're going to see more. I'm just seeing test alarms here. Once you actually start using the system, there's going to be more data in here. In here, there's not much you'll really use besides alarms. You won't use anything in this employees. You won't use anything in this residents, even though they're in there. The main things I wanted to show you, once again, just here's the best place to go is right here on summary. Just keep it on this window, and I think that's the best one to see what's going on, see your active alarms in real time and such. So your question is probably going to be, how do I add, change, or remove a pendant? So this is where you go. You go into the settings, and I expanded that. You go into connections and devices, and then all these devices are Inovonics devices. So what we're going to do is on this line here, we're going to go and we're going to go to hover over top of these three blue stacks here, and where it says edit devices, I'm going to click that. So here's all your devices. And all these ones at the top here are all door contacts for your monitoring of the alarms. We can filter these. If we go up to this filter here, we can choose for a type. And let's just run with pendants, because you're not going to be changing those door contacts at Pacific Carlton. So I'm going to recommend you just leave it on pendant here like this. And this will show all your pendants. So this is kind of cool because it shows actually all your pendants and their status, because the software is fully monitoring all the time all the pendants. So for example, this one right here, room 132, McPherson Davies, you can see that pendant, it's saying device is missing, cannot send alarms. And that could be for a couple of different reasons. Basically what that means is that the software has not seen the pendant in, I forget what the time is, maybe like 12 hours or 15 hours, something like that. It will have that alert. So either that person's off site, their pendant is out of range, or their pendant is completely dead. So we can scroll down and see there's another one there, room 143, Sunnyside room 000. I don't know what the heck that would be. Maybe it's one that just needs to be deleted. 121. So there's a few that are missing, right? And we'll also see low batteries here, but I'm not seeing any low. Basically, in this line here, instead of ready, it would say low battery, so you know when to change the battery. So let's say, for example, looks like it's Sunnyside. They don't really change names of pendants, but I assume these ones up here are Pacific Carlton ones. So let's say if I wanted to change, I don't know, let's say this room 344. Let's change this room 344. Let's say that you want to actually reuse this pendant. So you have this pendant, that's the ID that's written on the back of it that you're used to getting, but you want to give it to another person. Basically, all you would do is you'd go to this line and you'd hover over to edit device, and then this would come up. And basically, all you would do is you'd change this name. You would change this name to whatever, room 162, Bob Smith, anything like that. You would just change that. But remember, this is only if you're reusing this pendant with this ID. So you would change that name. And one thing that's very important, because you have two different, really two different sites there and two different groups of phones, is choosing where does this pendant actually live. So you can see if I click on this list, I have Sunnyside or Pacific Carlton. So if, let's say, you're going to reuse this pendant over at Sunnyside, you would click on this box and you'd click the Sunnyside box, and then it would change that location. See, I'm being careful. I don't really want to mess with this pendant here. And then once you're done all this stuff, like changing the name and here, and then maybe changing it to Sunnyside, all you're going to do is just go down to the bottom right-hand corner here and click OK. And then that has been changed. Let's say you're going to add a brand new pendant to either site. What I like to do, rather than remembering, when you go into one of these here and all the different drop downs you're supposed to do and everything, I'm going to get back out of here. What I actually like to do is I like to just choose an existing pendant that I know that works. Like, for example, let's say room 336 Dean, and I hover over top of it and I go over here to duplicate device. So I'm duplicating the device, and really the things that you have to change is this, the name, what you want to call it, the ID, like the number of the site, and I guess I can do this now just as a test. So let's call it, let's say the ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 digits, and I'm gonna just call this room 555 rod test. And let's say that, but I live in Sunnyside, so I'm gonna click on Sunnyside instead of Pacific Carlton. So there we go, and everything else, we didn't touch anything else, and I'm gonna hit OK. And I guess we got to scroll down and find me. And there we go. See, here's my 555. But I tell you what, in probably 12 hours, I'm going to get on this line here. It's going to say just like that, device missing, because of course there's no pendant with that ID, all 9s. So there we go. So it's that simple how to make a new pendant. And notice, remember what I did was I duplicated it. So let's say if you lost a pendant, let's say if Rod came in and said, "Hey, I lost my pendant when I was out shopping. It fell down I don't know, a water drain or something." Delete it, right? So it's very simple. You just find the line, move over, and go to the garbage can. Delete device. There, that's it. That's how simple it is to really use this system. And once again, you're just under here under Innovonics, and you're making edits. These are all the different devices. The key is making sure that just the identifier, which is just what it's called. This is what you're going to see on the screen of your phones and the computer when it's pressed, SS room 311, the ID of the pendant itself, and then the location of where it is. That's important, because this location sets which groups of wireless phones the alert goes to, whether it's the Sunnyside phones or the Pacific Carlton phones. So let me go back to summary. That's really it. We can get into some more extra stuff in the future, but I just kind of want to give you a quick rundown on that for now. Okay, thanks for paying attention.